So, it's September 10. We've been in pandemic mode for about 6 months now. I'm not a fan. I don't know about you. Not a fan of the whole thing. It's interesting. My wife and I watch Japanese TV. Yes, you heard that right. Japanese TV in English, fortunately. Back in December and January, Japanese news reported every single day on the coronavirus infections in that country, which started, if you recall, with the docking of a cruise ship, the Diamond Princess, right, which brought the infection there. And I remember Sylvia and me both saying, throughout December, January, February, man, those poor people, wow, I feel so bad for them. And then just a couple months later, COVID-19 hit our shores, and then we all started saying, wow, poor us, it's awful, poor us. It's been rough, hasn't it? I mean, schools and businesses closing, millions of people losing their jobs, close to 200,000 deaths. I know we're tired of it. A lot of people have wanted to just check out, escape from it all, but of course we can't. We're stuck with it, whether we like it or not. Now, some people say that Christians are not realists. They say that we believe in fairy tales, and they say that because we look to heaven as our true home, we don't really care about this world. We're just playing an escapist fantasy. Yeah, I can understand that criticism. But I recently read a devotional by Billy Graham, and he demolishes that argument, right? He quotes the theologian C.S. Lewis, whom I love, by the way, who says this: hope is one of the theological virtues. This means that a continual looking forward to the eternal world is not, as some modern people think, a form of escapism or wishful thinking, but one of the things a Christian is meant to do. It does not mean that we are to leave the present world as it is. If you read history, you will find that the Christians who did most for the present world were just those who thought most of the next. It is since Christians have largely ceased to think of the other world that they have become so ineffective in this. Aim at heaven, and you will get earth thrown in. Aim at earth, you will get neither. I think C.S. Lewis was right. Yeah? If we look at the state of affairs today, it can look really, really hopeless, can it? So we just throw up our hands in despair. We wish it would all just go away. But if we live our lives believing in Jesus' promises of a bright future with him in heaven, then we are compelled to live each day in hope. And more importantly, I think, to spread that hope to others. As C.S. Lewis said, that's just what Christians do, right? Go figure, who knew? Now, I wish I could take credit for this, but I bring up Billy Graham again. When looking at the hope of heaven, Billy Graham used a historical analogy. Picture March of 1942. Okay, it's March of 1942. The United States had been at war for about 4 months by this point. The Japanese are busy conquering the Philippines, which was American territory at the time. And General Douglas MacArthur, American hero, was ordered by President Roosevelt to leave, to split, right? He was considered too valuable to be captured by the enemy. Now, MacArthur did not want to go, but of course he took orders, and he made his way to Australia. But as a good soldier doing his duty, he vowed famously, I'm sure you know this, I shall return. It took 2.5 years and thousands of lives, but in October of 1944, MacArthur returned to the Philippines in victory. He kept his promise. And in the same way, Jesus promised to return. In John 14 and Acts 1, Jesus makes it very clear that he is coming back, and he's coming back in victory. Yeah, that's awesome news. And so if Douglas MacArthur, a mortal, fallible, egotistical human being, could fulfill his promise, how much more can we believe that the creator of the universe will keep his? That's awesome news, isn't it? Yeah? So take comfort today, right? I don't know where you are. I don't know what you're going through. I've been kind of having a rough time of things lately, up here and in here. So I can only imagine what you might be going through. But take comfort today in knowing that someday there will be no more pandemics, no more death, no more suffering. In the meantime, though, okay, in the meantime, let's do what we can to help others by imparting that hope and that promise. Right? Let's keep our eyes on heaven while doing what we can to build up God's creation and his people right here on earth. Join me in that, will you?